Hey everybody, it's Francis, and I want to welcome you to the new What a Hell of a Way to Dad podcast. All of the same content that you've been enjoying, but Nate and I have not been in the military for multiple years at this point, and we've decided that what we really want to talk about is parenting. So you're going to still get a lot of the same great content. Patreon is still going to have all of our bonus episodes, all of the old bonus episodes, 8 years of bonus content is still there. $5 a month gets you access to all of that, and you will continue to get 3 episodes a month going beyond that. We've got our ongoing Deadliest Warrior series that we're running. We have a MASHcast that I do with Carrie. We have a lot of really great stuff over there, so if you like what you're hearing here and you want to hear a little bit more, patreon.com/hellofawaytodie is where to find all of that. You can also check out our store, whatahellofawaytodad.com. It has all the things from our old store, but also it's got a few new sections. It's got an apparel section, it's got the podcast attic, and it has art and handmade stuff. So give it a look. whatahellofawaytodad.com. Find yourself something new. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. I mean, he runs his own hospital now at this point. Like, Armin Dorian's doing pretty well for himself.
And then we have computer whiz Max Geiger, which I just, ever since that thing you told me in the first episode about what his Twitter handle became after he was fired, in my head I just call him Max Racist.
Yeah, Maximum racism. He doesn't bring any of that. He gets dropped at season 3, and I'm curious if they find another nerd or if Jeff's just like, no, I can fill out a spreadsheet. It's fine.
But yeah, you're right. Calling him low rent Dane Cook's probably a little unfair because he probably has some degrees, but I see and look at him and I think Dane Cook, and he's just like, I have a black belt in karate and I know biomedical science.
They bring it up. They bring up all of Jeff Damolin's like various backgrounds when necessary. Like there was one episode where they're walking. I don't remember. Somebody got the gel torso gets shot, gets hit, whatever. And they're talking about Jeff Damolin, how he was a paramedic, and he knows gunshot wounds or he knows traumatic.
What hasn't this man done? He's like a Renaissance man.
He is. He's done all kinds. And if you look him up now. He is still doing pretty well for himself. Like I feel he's doing better than Dane Cook. Dane Cook is a low rent Jeff Damolin.
Wow.
What if Jeff Damolin was dumber and told bad jokes?
And not as swole. You know what? I think you're right. I have been unfair to Jeff. So I'm going to stop calling him low rent Dane Cook, and I'm just going to call him his actual name, Jeff. I apologize, Jeff. Good for you. Still going to call Max Geiger Max Racist, though.
Yeah, and look, I'm sure if we dug in a little bit more, we'd probably find some stuff about Jeff. But everything I've seen about him, he's like just a normal dude. So let's talk about our experts. So on the side of the Maori warrior, we have Seamus Fitzgerald.
I was not prepared for that name.
No. Well, look, as I have learned on Lions Led by Donkeys, there's always an Irishman involved somewhere.
I'm here for Global Ireland. You know what? Let's go.
Yeah, they all left the island and
the Irish Maori handshake, the joining of two great cultures.
So Seamus Fitzgerald, who is Polynesian descent, but I don't know if you found this. I had to stop doing my research into him when I found out he went to BYU Hawaii.
Oh no, I didn't do a lot of background research on a lot of these guys. Oh no, I do know that BYU has like. And I'm sure if the Brigham Young money guys were here, they could explain it more. I do know they oddly have like somewhat of a presence, an established presence in a lot of like the U.S. Pacific Island territories, like the colonial territories. Everyone seems to forget we still actually own at this point.
Yeah, getting their hooks into all of these places. Yeah. So and look, Mormonism being what it is, Seamus seems like a normal dude.
He seemed fine.
Yeah, Jared Wahongi, I just have my notes, tactical dipshit. He's one of those guys who has a website where he will teach you how to do tactical
things. Is this the guy who was listed as former special forces and like a SWAT guy? I'm guessing he was probably you were in the New Zealand Special Air Service.
Hey, and you know what? Maybe he was. And for this TV show, I have noticed that there always needs to be two kinds of guys. There needs to be a tactical guy, somebody who is doing some kind of website where you can go and you can train and you can pay like $10,000 to get screamed at for 3 days and you're a man somehow after that. And stuntman. You have to have one of each because the stuntmen are the only ones who know how to actually do the stuff. And these tactical dipshits are the ones who know how to talk and say. Sound real tactical and cool, right? They've got the million YouTube videos of them talking, and then they're like when they got to the whip chain is the only time that I think we talked to Wang Wei in for the Shaolin Monks. He says no words. He just gets out there and fucks some shit up with a chain whip, and he's like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, you know, it can't fault that. And you know what? I say New Zealand Special Air Service mockingly, but I mean, they did deploy to Afghanistan for like 12 years, and like they've been to East Timor, so maybe this guy's actually seen some shit. He's probably got some actual stuff behind it, but yeah, you're right. He's the tactical dipshit.
Yeah, I got nothing against any of these guys. They've got their, but you know, like a guy named Seamus Fitzgerald, who's Polynesian descent and went to BYU Hawaii, is that's a lot of red flags.
That's a lot of different types of guy in one guy.
It's a lot of guy. It's a lot of guy.
His cup runneth over with guy.
Yeah, you could only cram that much guy into a Maori warrior, because he's also a Maori warrior. He's also slamming his chest and sticking his tongue out and threatening to eat you. There's a lot of threats to eat people in this one.
Yeah, and I one thing I did notice though between these two groups of guys is while they were obviously like giving each other shit, I feel like they were less openly hostile to one another than the gladiators were to the Apache. That like these guys were like giving each other some shit, but there was also some quiet admiration there and all that.
There was, and one of these days, I feel like what we should add to this mix is a local pro wrestler that's really good at promos to do the shit talking. You know, give one of the not one of the big guys. Obviously, you're not going to get a WWE guy.
You get someone from the flea market.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of local wrestlers. I'm sure that would love the job. That can come in. You give them hey, here's the Maori weapons specialist. Talk with them for an hour. Get some ideas, and then you're going to be the hype man / shit talker for this team, and really hype it up, because I really want to see some decent shit talking, but nobody's good at it. And I feel like that's because, of course, nobody's comfortable with one another.
Also, it's obviously been given I say this, but before I say it, I say obviously there's some off the cuff stuff, but it's also clear that a lot of cases they've been given a script or here, say this, and it's clear that they're not always comfortable saying the thing. You know, they're more comfortable in the interviews when they're talking about their stuff, but then when there's actually one of those stage scenes where they come together, it's clear a lot of the time they're speaking off a script, or the director is like, take it again and do it more like this.
Right. If you can't come up with your own shit talk, we've written some shit talk out here for you that you can kind of stumble your way through, I guess. And yeah, we have yet to get anyone good at that because, like I said, one, I feel like they don't really know each other. And if you don't have that kind of camaraderie, it's harder to, you shit talk your boys more than you shit talk anybody
I feel like
else,
I can't remember which one, but I think one of the Apaches was better at it, because I think he actually had done been in movies, doing stuff. So I imagine if you're actually in the business, in the industry, it comes a lot more naturally.
So our final guy, Sala Baker, another accomplished stuntman, and on the Shaolin Monk side, Eric Chen and Wang Wei, both stunt performers. Alfred Singh, I really enjoyed looking into him because he is one of those guys. He's a stuntman. He is a martial artist, and I feel like he should be bigger than he is. Because he does a lot. He's done a lot of he was in Silicon Valley one episode. He was the leader of the Pikes in the Book of Boba Fett. So he's kind of getting out there.
Oh, I thought he looked really familiar, but I couldn't quite identify where I'd seen him before.
Yeah, and I had the same thing, and I was like, okay, I've seen him in. I just recently watched all of Silicon Valley, so I might recognize his bit character in there, or Book of Boba Fett in the second episode, I guess. And he's got one of those mini bios in IMDb that is very obviously written by himself.
Right.
He's kind of like talking himself up. He said in here, it says he played Saitama in One Punch Man, but do you know One Punch Man?
Oh yeah, no, I know One Punch Man.
Yeah, he played Saitama in a One Punch Man anime fan film that received over 30 million views across online platforms.
Oh,
and
okay, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, he worked on IP Man or Ip Man. Which one is it? IP Man, Ip Man?
Okay, that one I'm not as familiar with.
Well, it's one of the it's a Chinese action film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he worked on the third one.
He's getting that Chinese movie money, just like that dude that was playing MacArthur in all those war movies.
Yeah, but he actually is Chinese.
Right.
He also, but he's Chinese. He trained at the Beijing Film Academy, but he is American. He's Chinese, one of ethnically Chinese, but he is a citizen of America, and he actually went to the World Wushu Championships and won, and was like the first American gold medalist at this championship.
The World Wushu Championship sounds incredible. Like just by the name alone, the World Wushu Championship, I'm already 1,000% invested.
Yeah, Wushu is it's a Chinese martial art, competitive Chinese martial art that integrates a bunch of different various forms of martial art.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that, because they mentioned Wushu and Kung Fu, so I'm guessing Kung Fu kind of gets subsumed into that. I actually didn't know. My knowledge of Kung Fu is very surface level. I didn't realize going into this that the Shaolin actually invented Kung Fu. I knew they were associated with it. I didn't realize they actually invented it. I guess this is what I get for not watching Shaolin Showdown as a kid on Kids WB.
Yeah, not watching enough. Kung Fu was on TV all the time. It was one of those in rotation on Channel 11.
Wasn't that that was David Carradine, right?
Yeah.
R.I.P. to a real one.
Jerking off in your closet.
Yeah.